Hello, Ashwin with the Open Source Software Virtual Incubator. My name's Lane Raspberry. I'm with the School of Data Science at the University of Virginia. We had talked about doing some kind of collaboration with Wikipedia. I edit Wikipedia and Wikidata here. And one of the ideas we discussed was Wiki99. This is a concept in Wikipedia that we select 99 or about 100 topics of Wikipedia articles. We put a certain amount of development in those topics. Then we translate those into target languages so that the concepts in those articles become more accessible to people who speak those languages. And we track the traffic, the number of people who are going to those articles, and use that traffic report as a way of measuring impact or measurement of how efficient it is to edit these Wikipedia articles. So why somebody would want to do this? With Wikipedia, you don't have to pay for advertising. If you develop a Wikipedia article, you can be sure that if somebody's searching for a concept in a search engine, then the Wikipedia articles are well replaced in search engine results. So it's a sure way that if you have information to distribute or disseminate, if you put it into Wikipedia, then people who are looking for that information are in fact going to find it, and we're able to measure how many people are reading this. Supposing we wanted to improve the health of the open source software ecosystem, I'm not saying that Wikipedia is the place to learn software development, but people are at all stages of life. So beginning students, they type the name of concepts that they're unfamiliar with, they arrive at Wikipedia articles, and this influences it's a first impression, it's initial thoughts about these concepts. There's also journalists, policymakers, people who are looking up open source software or some software concept just because they need to know. They're never going to be a developer. But if there's information in Wikipedia, then journalists are better informed, and the entire media ecosystem is healthier because there's reference information and images and other kinds of media available in the Wikimedia platform. So Wikipedia, it's available in multiple languages. It's most developed in the English language, but we have volunteer communities around the world who are developing all different languages. Communities collaborate in different ways. One of the ways is through something called wiki projects. There's wiki projects for software, there's wiki projects for openness. And when communities collaborate, there's a capacity to how much labor volunteers can commit to do things. And with this Wiki99 concept, about 100 Wikipedia articles it's a nice amount for a volunteer community to say they maintain. They pick the articles that are most important to them. There's different indicators, like in categories that have to do with software, we pick the articles that are already getting the most traffic, or that have the most inbound links, or somebody thinks that they're very important for some reason or another, and those go into the 99, that list of Wiki99. And when you have this list of 99, it becomes a candidate, or de facto, a global canon. It's the information that you can expect to be available in multiple different languages, so that if people from two countries want to talk about a concept, they can search for it in their own language, and you can expect them to both be able to find information in their own language through Wikipedia. So if we were to compile this list of 99, what would we include? There's major concepts in software, like the term software itself. There would be some more specific terms, like different programming languages. We could also include social concepts, like the concept of open source, or maybe even go afield from open source and develop the articles related to open science or open copyright licenses, these kinds of things. It takes time to do these kinds of things, debate over years. People would propose this kind of list, and some people would say, let's add items, let's remove items. Also, it could be the case that this doesn't just move information from English into lower and middle income countries, but we take information from other countries and give it to English speakers that they didn't have otherwise. In other spaces in the wiki community, like a community that uses this Wiki99 concept is the LGBT community. For that community, it was not desirable to select biographies of people familiar in the Western world and then just translate those out into other cultures. But in fact, we wanted to get LGBT heroes that weren't known to the Western world, raise their visibility, starting in their native language, and then translate their biographies into English language so that people who were very active in the LGBT movement could learn something about how that had played out in other countries. And this could be the case in software as well. Instead of teaching everyone in the world the heroes from the Western world in the software movement, the wiki community would be good at doing something like finding biographies from communities that aren't otherwise represented and translating those, profiling them in this list of 99, so that we raise the visibility and we have a more global and diverse conversation, finding heroes wherever they may be in other countries and showcasing them alongside everything else. Who does all this? Well, there's a wiki volunteer community, but if we want to expedite this, we want to make it go faster, sponsorship helps. Sponsorship can go in different directions. I'm at a university, and if I had money at my university, I would hire undergraduate and graduate students to build out these Wikipedia articles. Send them to do literature reviews, find the most prominent textbooks, ask around to experts for different topics, give each student one topic, and then it's a short-term assignment for them, 2 or 3 months, where they improve that article as much as they can, and also work with translation groups. The translators may be students at my university, they may be professional translators that we find online, but after you get a translation, you also have to show it to a native language speaker, hopefully someone who knows something about Wikipedia or from the wiki community, where they review this and they coordinate, yes, add this, don't do that, and get some synchronicity between the articles. Make sure that local language concepts appear in the English original and the English is precise enough. We don't have to do 99 articles. This project scales up or down. We could start with just one article. I hope you understand how Wikipedia works. It's been around for a long time, but it is possible to just start at one article if you want to see what's it like to edit a Wikipedia article, what's it like to get a traffic report about a wiki article. We could do 10 articles, we could do 20, we could do the full 99. It doesn't just have to be my university. This could be a multi-institution thing. I'm a professional Wikipedian at my university. We're well equipped to do this. I collaborate with the wiki community. I'd love to get more community members, but this doesn't have to be something that's only me. If you've got other people you know who want to participate in this kind of project, then anyone can edit Wikipedia. They make an account, they edit the articles, they contribute to the 99. Maybe I only oversee 10 or 20 of these and you've got somebody else who wants to participate in the project. I could write these myself. I'd really prefer to get students to do this. So that's the engine that fuels this. If I have sponsorship to oversee students to write out these articles, then we get some progress over time and get these translations going. Wikipedia has been the most requested, published, accessed resource for a great many topics, and it's at the top of search engine results for a long time. I feel like sooner or later there needs to be good information in Wikipedia about all these concepts, and if it needs to happen eventually, better to happen sooner, because it's already been so many years that Wikipedia has been without this information in so many languages that are underserved. And for the price of student labor to get this done forever, a good start in other languages, I really think it's worth it, and I believe in this project. I'd love to talk with you more about this. Thanks for hearing me out.